Hi guys, welcome to Lesson 6, Color Theory Teacup. This is a two-part lesson. So in this first part, all we are doing is drawing your teacup, your ground line, your saucer that the teacup sits on, and then two creative patterns, one in the background and one on the table. And then you're gonna outline all of that in Sharpie. Don't add any color in lesson 6. Please wait and watch the video in lesson 7 to learn about how to apply color. Because it is our color theory project, we have learned this year already about warm and cool color schemes. You've learned about neutral color schemes. And in this lesson, you're going to be learning about complementary colors and analogous color schemes. And so once you learn about those through your Google slide, so make sure in the next lesson, in lesson 7, when you're learning all about those color schemes again, that you pay attention to what those colors are so you know where to apply them. It's very specific. There's some very detailed instructions as far as how to apply color. And again, that's in the next lesson, in lesson 7. In lesson 6, this one, all you need is your 8.5 by 11 or 10 paper, just regular size drawing paper, white, and a pencil and a black Sharpie. If you just want to use regular black marker, that's fine. But that is all you need. You don't need any coloring materials for lesson 6. This project is worth 50 points, so make sure you follow along. You're going to need to send me a finished picture of just your black and white drawing of your teacup, saucer, ground line, and patterns in the background for lesson 6. And then when you move on to the next lesson, you're going to use the finished product for lesson 6, and you're going to learn about how to add color and where to put those very specific colors. So follow along as we try to pull in all of our color theory learning into this one project. All right, you're going to be working vertical today. So you want your paper going up and down, and you're going to start with your pencil, and we are sketching lightly, a really thin oval, kind of in the middle, but a little bit above the middle. This is the top of our teacup. So notice that I had to erase there. You're not going to nail it necessarily on the first try. So really thin oval, sketching lightly. And then from there, you're going to draw two lines extending from either end, both ends of the oval. And they sort of veer inward, and then you're going to draw a curved, just a slightly curved, sort of smiley line connecting those two vertical lines. And that is our teacup. And now I'm drawing the handle, and we want it to be a double layered handle. After I draw the handle, I am going to draw the saucer because we want our teacup sitting in a saucer. Saucer is just a small plate that holds the teacup. And again, it's a really thin oval again with another thin oval inside of it. After you have that complete, then we don't want to forget our ground line or our table line, because we don't want our teacup to look like it's just floating in space. So it needs to be sitting on something. So you're drawing a line in the background behind your teacup. So don't draw through your teacup. It goes behind, so it stops at your teacup and then extends to the edge of the paper. So I have my teacup, my saucer, my table line, and now I'm going in and just cleaning up some of my lines, making sure to draw really, really lightly so I can easily erase. And now I'm going to think of what kind of pattern I want to apply to the table. So it's like your teacup sitting on a table, maybe with a tablecloth, and I'm just going to draw some diagonal stripes. Think back to our different types of lines that we studied at the beginning of the year. You could do different types of lines. You could do a checkerboard, which you'll see in the Google slide example, polka dots, wavy lines, castle lines, you choose. Create a pattern. In the background, we want it to be a different pattern. So now I'm doing some polka dots. Oh, and I forgot the steam. We want to make sure you want your piping hot cup of tea to be steaming. Maybe it's a cup of hot cocoa, whatever you want it to be. You can even put little marshmallows inside your cup if you'd like. And maybe it's coffee, whatever you want it to be inside, but it's hot. So we need to make sure to draw our steam lines coming out from inside of our teacup. Okay, now I'm finishing my polka dots in the background. And you can even add some pattern onto your teacup. So I'm doing a zigzag line with some additional stripes. You can be creative. Maybe you want to put your initial on your teacup, that's fine, or your whole name. You can be creative with your teacup design. We definitely want the background and the table pattern to be simple, but I'm open to any ideas you have for your actual teacup. I'm also adding a little pattern to my saucer. Maybe you want to add some little flowers or polka dots. All right, and once you're happy with your overall design, then you are going to take your Sharpie marker and outline it. You are going to outline neatly on top of all of your pencil lines. So we shouldn't see any pencil lines when you're done. You're gonna go around your teacup, around all of your patterns. If you want to fill in a couple small details black, you'll notice here in a little bit that I fill in the bottom portion of my saucer black, but I don't want you to fill in a ton of it black because as you'll find in lesson 7, when you're learning how to add color to this, we just need to make sure we have available space to add those very specific color schemes to those very specific areas, and you'll learn about that in the next lesson. But and you'll see in the Google slide that in my checkerboard, I went ahead and created my checkerboard with black Sharpie and filled in. So if you want to fill in, again, some small portions of your patterns black with your Sharpie, that's fine, just not obviously the whole thing. And then lastly, you're going to erase so it's nice and clean and we don't see any pencil lines. All right, so for lesson 6, this is 50 points. This is what your artwork should look like. Again, not exactly like mine because you're gonna choose your own patterns for your background and for your table. You can even add a little detail or pattern to your saucer and on your teacup. So I'm looking for creativity and neatness. So make sure that you're sketching lightly. As you saw in mine, I had to erase a couple of times. So make sure that you're sketching lightly so you don't have not pleasant, hard lines that we don't want to see. So sketch lightly and then outline everything with black Sharpie or marker and then erase at the end so it's nice and clean. And then you're going to use this for the next lesson in lesson 7. After you watch the video and review the Google slide in lesson 7 on how to add colors. So you're gonna need to take a picture of your black and white image for lesson 6 and turn that into me for 50 points. And then you're gonna complete this with color in lesson 7 for another 50 points. All right, if that is at all confusing, email me, happy to help you. All right, enjoy drawing your color theory teacup, and I look forward to seeing all of your creative patterns.